It's okay.
Okay. So hi, in this session, I'll talk a little bit about us, then AI in diagnostics, AI in precision medicine, and then regulatory status and what's next in this space. So first of all, I am the founder of and CEO of Sevamob. Atlanta-based Sevamob provides AI-enabled platform to organizations that reduces the cost of primary care delivery by up to 50%. Platform has two components. One is AI-based triage and point-of-care screening for blood, vision, urine, data, and sputum. And second is health outcomes via telehealth and pop-up clinics. So what is artificial intelligence? Professor Laha covered this earlier, but AI is an area of computer science that emphasizes the creation of intelligent machines that work and react like humans. There's certain approaches. Some of the approaches are listed here. One is machine learning, where computer algorithms are used that automatically improve with experience. Second is deep learning, which is part of the broader machine learning. And this is based on artificial neural networks with representation learning. And then there are computer vision libraries which process or help in processing underlying digital images and videos and so on. So when it comes to AI in diagnostics, if you look at the number of algorithms by geography, North America leads in terms of number of algorithms, followed by Europe, Asia Pacific, and then finally Africa. And then where the focus of this imaging diagnostics is, so most of the algorithms are in general category, followed by brain, breast, heart, lung, eye, and then finally cell pathology. So I'll cover a couple of examples of these. So let's look at Proskia, so which is doing cancer research and diagnosis and using deep learning. Then Bangalore-based Nirumai is using AI for breast cancer screening solution. Dr. CADX is using AI to improve accuracy of TB diagnosis from radiology imaging. Telesensi is using AI to flag potential heart conditions from stethoscope scan. And then finally, Sevamob, my company, is using AI for point-of-care screening for blood, vision, urine, data, and sputum. So in blood, we can do your RBC and WBC counts and screen for conditions like anemia. In vision, we can screen for diabetic retinopathy and cataract. In the urine, we can screen for pus cells, red blood cells, and calcium oxalate crystals. In sputum, we can screen for tuberculosis. And in diet, we can predict your multivitamin and mineral deficiencies and recommend a diet, exercise, and stress reduction plan. All this work can be done in a low resource setting, works offline, can be done by a nurse with minimal training. So that is the power of AI. It does not require any specialists for screening all of this stuff. So I'll very quickly show you a quick demo of, okay, so what does this actually mean? How is this AI compared to something else? So I'll just take 30 seconds to run you through a quick video. This is our TV solution, which consists of an optional portable sputum slide maker. Then there is AI-based point-of-care screening of that sputum sample. And finally, there is a telehealth component. So first, we onboard the patient in our system. Then this is an optional sputum slide maker, which can pre-process the sputum slide. And then finally, the slide which comes out of the slide maker looks something like this, is then analyzed by the AI. That analysis can also be done by a pathologist, which is how it is normally done prior to we developed our solution. So the AI in real time points out in that sample if there is tuberculosis in it, and then what is the probability of tuberculosis in the sample. And then on the right side is a sample where there is no tuberculosis. So the AI recommendations are then paired with some clinical history about the patient, and that together with the AI recommendations goes to a remote physician who can, for example, provide telehealth either via second opinion or via a video consultation. So that's an end-to-end scenario of how the AI works. And in this case, deep learning is being used in this algorithm. So let's talk about investment in diagnostics AI. I saw some data which I thought you would find interesting. So on the left side, you see the medical imaging AI global amounts raised since 2011. And on the right, you see what percentage of that investment was angel or seed versus Series A, Series B, and Series C. And something you would notice is that there has been an uptick in Series B and C and reduction in volume of angel investment in the last year or two, which suggests that the investors are now looking for deployments and sustainable solutions instead of just experimental technologies. Next, let's talk about precision medicine. So precision medicine is an emerging approach for disease treatment and prevention that takes into account individual variability in genes, environment, lifestyle. It is used to more accurately predict which treatment and prevention strategies will work best for a particular patient. So let's talk about some examples. So first, Intel developed a deep learning model that was able to achieve 85% accuracy on disease risk prediction. It was able to correctly identify 23 subjects at risk for cardiovascular disease that were not detected by traditional statistical methods. Another example is Atomise, which uses machine learning algorithms for drug discovery and development. Notable Labs, which uses an FDA-approved treatment recommendation based on the type of tumor. Globavir has a machine learning platform to reduce the drug discovery time for infectious disease. I'll also talk a little bit more about one of our solutions, Diet AI, which also falls in this category. And again, I'll show you a very quick demo. I'll just take a few minutes, just take a minute, walk you through this. So for example, this is regarding cardiometabolic and nutritional diseases. So in this solution, we have a point of care screening. We have AI-based lifestyle recommendations. We have behavioral change counseling and then management by telehealth. So first, this is a kiosk which we developed and where screening happens. Then this is our Diet AI, which looks at various demographics and medical history and other factors. And then based upon that, there's a very personalized recommendation for diet, exercise, and stress reduction. So it looks at factors like weight and economic level and physical activity and the type of stuff, any medical conditions, any symptoms. It then predicts from those symptoms. And then finally, this is the output of the AI, which predicts if patient is overweight, what they should eat and how. And then it is paired with behavioral counseling and again, second opinion and telehealth. So that's just one example of a solution in this category. So next, I'll just very briefly talk about the regulatory status. So as you can imagine, all this falls under a new category of medical devices or medical solutions. And now increasingly there is a regulation from FDA and other bodies around around software as a medical device. And so by the end of 2018, FDA had approved 12 algorithms, and there were many more in the pipeline. And I'm sure by this time, there are at least more than a dozen solutions which have been approved by FDA for various categories. In our own example, our Diet AI falls under FDA Class 1 device for which we have appropriate approvals and everything, and we're deployed with customers. However, our blood vision, urine, and sputum AI, they fall under FDA Class 2 devices for which the approval process is a little more lengthy. And then you will see on this map that there are various regulatory initiatives in different countries around software as a medical device. Finally, what's next? What we envision is that the nascent AI in healthcare in South Asia, Sub-Saharan Africa, and other geographies will follow the same trends as countries like US and China, which have the lead in this space. But there's going to be one difference overall. And the difference is going to be that the AI companies in these countries are going to focus more on diseases which have a larger disease burden in those countries. So, for example, in our case, I showed an example of tuberculosis. There's a government 2025 mission to eradicate TB in India, and that solution falls squarely in that, whereas that solution is not very relevant in the US scenario. So, so we think that the solutions are going to be more dependent on the disease burdens in local countries where those companies originate or work in. So that's the end of my presentation. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at saxena@sevamob.com or just contact me on LinkedIn. Thank you.